The in-law you always love.
Then just sign in over there where you're from. Somebody.
So let's talk a little bit about this wonderful working family-friendly company as it applies to women's issues, and not only working women, but also women who are single heads of households also. Let's start with gender discrimination. The good old boy down there in Network, the good old boy network down there in Arkansas, the home of Wal-Mart. Well, they're in a little bit of hot water right now with the American judicial system. It seems that there's a big lawsuit going on. It's been going on for about 3 years now. It's a gender discrimination lawsuit, and it is the largest gender discrimination lawsuit in the history of the American judicial system. 1.6 million women are suing Wal-Mart because they were never given the same opportunities as men. Men and women working in the same departments, but women were always passed over for promotions, and now they've got a 1.6 million class action lawsuit against Wal-Mart. That's one issue. Second issue is healthcare, and this gets from bad to worse. Wal-Mart has a new policy that eliminates the lower deductibles for their healthcare policy. So what the horrible thing about that is that it makes it so incredibly unaffordable for people who work for Wal-Mart that fully 50% of the people who work for Wal-Mart can't afford the health care. So who winds up paying for it? We do. Does that sound like a worker-friendly company? No! I don't think so. Let's talk about something as insidious as child labor violations. Nobody has committed more child labor violations than this company, Wal-Mart. They've got minors. Number one, they make them work too many hours in a day. These are school children. Number two, they make them work during school hours. And while they're working these kinds of crazy kind of hours and they should be home, they're not paying them for their breaks, and they're not paying them for their lunch hours. Does that sound like a worker-friendly company? No, really. Now they've got some new policies. They want to change things around a little bit, so they have these new policies. Get a load of these new policies. Restrictive attendance policies, which makes it extremely difficult for women who work for Wal-Mart to be able to take time off to care for a sick family member or a sick child. They have salary caps now, newly instituted salary caps, which means that once you've reached the top rate in your department, the only way that you will ever get a raise after that is by transferring to another department that has a higher cap. And this is the most insidious of all, an open availability policy. An open availability policy, which means that these women can no longer have a consistent schedule. It means that they no longer can make plans to drop the children off at the daycare center or to pick the children up after school. No longer be able to make plans because Wal-Mart changes the schedules on a regular basis. And this particular policy was so unconscionable that 200 workers, after giving this policy in Florida, actually walked out of a Walmart, walked into the parking lot and said, "We're not going to work until this policy changes." That takes an awful lot of bravery on the part of these individuals, because you do not mess with this company. And now let's talk about what they're doing as far as their lobbying efforts are concerned and how this affects women. Nationally, they're trying to keep the minimum wage where it is at $5.15 per hour, and they're going to spend an awful lot of money trying to do that. We've got a new leadership down there in Washington, and we're going to work hard to raise that minimum wage. And let's talk about what they're doing down here, right down here in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I think most of you know this, but I'm going to tell you now. There are only 2 states left in the United States that have legislative mandated time and a half on Sunday. Only 2 left. When they first got rid of all the blue laws, everybody had it. Some had double time. It eroded the time and a half. And now there are only 2 states left that have the legislative mandated time and a half on Sunday. The only way you can lose it is if they change the law on a state level. And they are Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Wal-Mart's lobbyists are spending tons and tons and tons of money in the State House, here in the State House in Massachusetts, handing out money to people to try to get control of the labor committees. They're trying to get their bill into the Labor Committee to try to take time and a half on Sunday, time and a half away on Sunday. Now, our own records show that our members here in the retail food industry, that are represented by this local union, take home anywhere from $750 to $11,000 extra a year net because of the time and a half on Sunday. So here is this family, worker-friendly company. And I love these syrupy Wal-Mart ads where they talk about how wonderful Wal-Mart is and how great they are. They commit all these violations. And now they're willing to take the time and a half away from us on Sunday and actually to take food out of people's mouths. We will not allow this to happen in this state. This is not Arkansas, this is not Mississippi, this is not Louisiana, this is not Pennsylvania. This is Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and we cannot allow that to happen. Does that sound like a worker-friendly company? No! My brothers and sisters, this is the holiday season. We're gathered here today to talk about the needs and concerns that these women have at Wal-Mart. The holidays are a time for family, for giving, and for sharing. And we hope that you will tell your friends and keep it in mind yourselves and your relatives through this holiday season to think before you shop this year.